with like the style of editing, I guess. So like what software do you use and like is there any kind of like certain post processing techniques you really are drawn to using more with your photographs?
So I love post processing. I use Photoshop and Lightroom generally for, I guess, my workflow. Generally, I'll import and organize my photos in Lightroom, and then I'll take them into Photoshop and start doing all the processing. I don't really have a specific workflow besides that. So generally, I'll do some minor corrections in Lightroom, so color corrections or exposure corrections. Or if I have any blending for panoramas or bracketing images, then I'll do that in Lightroom, unless I need to do it in Photoshop. And then I'll just take it into Photoshop, and I will start to kind of think about the different things that I want to change, or that really start to focus on the things that I like about the picture and figure out ways to enhance them, whether that's dodging and burning or using a bit of vignetting or saturating the areas that I like and desaturating the areas that I don't. So, using multiple different layers and all this different stuff. Techniques is using a filter. It's from the DxO Color Effects 4. I think that's what it's called. It's like a glamour effect, and if you use it, like it's meant for portraits, but if you use a very minimal amount of it on like a woodland scene, it's basically an Orton effect, but it's like automated, and it looks amazing. I just, like, I don't know how to like repeat that effect like manually, but it's crazy. Like, because it adds contrast, it adds warmth, or you can add coolness as well, but adds a saturation. It's gorgeous, but you really have to be careful with it because otherwise it'll make your picture look very.
Hmm. It's interesting how you kind of use multiple different programs to kind of assemble your photos into one. I know a lot of
Yeah,
people just kind of want to stay in one or the other, but it's really cool how you switch between.
yeah. I mean, I completely understand staying in one because it's a lot simpler. And trust me, I definitely did for most of my time as a photographer. But I one thing I really like about post processing is it's really like the second half of photography, right? And it allows you to um, completely create your own image. So let's say that you were, at a very popular location, let's say like Mesa Arch or something, you're photographing the same scene as a ton of different people. Post processing is what's going to really make that different if the compositions are the same, other than lighting, of course. But so it really allows you to kind of implement your own style, your own kind of vision of the landscape and what you experienced when you were out there, through post processing. So that's what I like about it.
That Mesa Arch example is like the perfect way to say it. Yeah, it's all about what sets you apart from the competition, not competition, but the rest of people, other photographers. So
Right.
that's a really great way to
Yeah.
look at it. Yeah. So are you more so concerned with like a portfolio as a sense of like cohesiveness, or you like you said you rather edit a photo to its strengths? Is that correct? Like you're not really
Yeah.
looking
I
for like a
mean,
cohesion. You don't use presets for, do
no,
you?
no, I do not use presets. I mean, it's the same thing with kind of the compositional rules thing. I don't like kind of that presetted aspect of photography. And yeah, like, I guess when it comes to style, I don't know if I really have one. I don't know. I feel like I would get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's definitely helpful to have, but I think it also can limit your creativity and what you can and can't do with your photography, which I don't think is good, because of course photography is supposed to be a creative exercise. So at least that's the way I look at it. But
Hmm. And obviously,
That's
like
awesome.
as you continue in your photography career, you kind of start to develop a style naturally, almost. Like your
yeah,
photos will kind of fit together in their own way. They may not be exactly
oh
the
yeah,
same, but there's always some kind of common compositional technique or lighting preference, and it all kind of fits
right,
together.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because that's one thing. A lot of people, or I guess I don't really know, but first when I started, I thought like the whole style thing was completely just post processing. But really, I mean, it could be light, it could be combination, it could be a whole bunch of different things. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely does evolve over time, and it changes and everything like that, which I think is good.